the ropes, trying to...
Shalom, what's going on, family? Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody's doing okay. I pray you all are well. Things is getting a little messy out here, huh? Yeah. How y'all doing? I'm gonna just go ahead and get started. I don't got time to wait for a bunch of people to come in. Plus, I done played all kind of flippity flapping music, and yeah, no. Let me get this going though. I will get my little background music going on. But in the meantime and in between time, let me just say, make sure this is low. Shout out to my brother Drew. I saw he was in here early. I don't know if he's still in here. Blessings to you. Beautiful Tay Tay. I hope you're well, sis. You know, I hope you're well. Mansa Musa. What's going on, King? Welcome in. My great brother Steph Brown. Salute to you, brother. Shalom. My beautiful sis Cammie. How are you? I hope you're well and rested. I hope this music ain't too loud either. Man, look. I'm very... Why do I always have to come to y'all like this? Excuse me. I be feeling upset. Y'all know it's a lot going on within the community. A lot of bullshit right now. I came to y'all about 3 weeks, a month ago, and I said people need to relax. And I know I don't have a huge following, and that's fine. I'm cool with the people that rock with me. I just feel like this has gotten out of hand, as a lot of us probably had the foresight to see and feel what happened. Lines, I guess, are being drawn, and it is what it is, right? So today, I would like to talk to you guys about, of course, this whole business with the Haneys, the Normans, Sean Porter. And again, I want to touch on the fact that we are not privy to information all the time, which is what drives me crazy. It's absolutely fine for people to choose sides, right? I just don't understand why it's hard to respect one another or to even have respect for these fighters. And that's really my main point here today. Respecting the fight itself, respecting the fighters. My word of the day would be tact. Being tactful. How you go about approaching situations and dealing with situations and relationships, right? Being considerate. How you doing, Brother Reef? Welcome in. Let me hook you up real quick, homie. My homie. Yeah. So, being tactful. How you go about talking to people in situations, not just flying off the handle. I was very upset last night. About 1 o'clock in the morning, I went to make a video. About 5 times I tried. Just couldn't get it off. I was about to go live and I said, well, damn, ain't nobody up. And I want my people to hear what I have to say. I've been saying that I feel a way. I feel a way about the way these negotiations have been going down. And before I say anything further, let me put this disclaimer out. Hey, 2 Cents. Blessings, brother. Welcome in. I absolutely, just like everyone else, know. I'm not going to say I feel or believe. I know boxing should be a clean sport. There's no question. We all absolutely know and sympathize with Devin Haney and what he went through, right? The title of my video today is Getting Messages. Fake fanatics and fake outrage, yeah? Why is it that we go about making it our business to say that we're pro-black, we're for our brother, we're for this boxing community, and pushing, good narratives, pushing our fighters. But at the same time, we go along with the get along. We go along with bullshit, and nobody calls it out. On my last live, I ended it saying something that some people didn't like. Some of y'all probably didn't catch it. But let me fill you in. I was not and have not been happy with the way that I feel like Bill Haney has been moving. I feel like there should have been some discretion and tact. I've not been happy with the Bill or Norman Sr. as far as getting on the Boxing Voice. I have made that very clear. And I feel like them doing that was going to make a space for this fight to be canceled because it was just going to an ugly place at times, right? There was some name calling that was absolutely cruel and unnecessary. They have since moved on, obviously, and forgiven each other. I've moved on from that. But it doesn't negate that it happened and that it exists, and that and things like that happening, people have feelings. It affects people in a certain way, including the fighters. I just, how do I go about this? Let me start here. On the 10th of July, I believe, the Normans agreed in New York City to the VADA testing. There was no contract. It was verbal. Last Friday or Saturday, I'm not sure which day, it's not really that important, but we know for a fact that Bill Haney went on the Boxing Voice. Well, actually, no, he did this on Twitter. On the Twitter, he went and made a public announcement that Brian Norman Jr. needed to sign up to VADA, and he had 24 hours roughly, something like that, right? In doing that, a whole snowball effect began. And that is people making the assumption, casting aspersions on Junior. And it's still happening to this day, even though this man is accepted. Calling this man a drug cheat. I've heard him be called stupid, ignorant, because of the statement that he made. The statement that he didn't want to start immediately. He wanted to wait for 2 weeks. Maybe people are not aware that his vacation was planned before this fight was made. And maybe some of you don't care. I am absolutely aware that the notion is flying around that he can go and get his system cleaned out. He could do that here. I believe the man is a clean fighter. I believe that people don't understand that all these boxers and fighters are not, y'all know they don't even watch fights, but yet you seem to believe and feel that they should have every bit of information about testing. A lot of these guys we know aren't even enrolled in VADA. That does not mean that they're dirty. For some of you, maybe you don't know and you're not aware that the commissions provide testing. And he has been doing that. He was not enrolled in VADA until now. But the things that led up to the day where he had to choose whether he was going to get on it or not, no one ever took into consideration again that this man has been having fights relatively close together, and he planned a vacation before the fight was made. Mind you, this fight was made less than 7 days after his fight with Jen Sasaki. Pretty damn quick, right? We also are aware, let me say hello to my great brother and my kinfolk. How you doing, so? Blessings to you, King. Mac of the Smack of the South. Salute, great brother. Blessings to you. King Fuses Lit House. How you doing, family? Welcome in. We're aware that things happened in New York, right? They got into it. Let me hook this one up for y'all. And share my screen. People found this shit funny. And I'm not saying that anybody within our community did, but it was disgusting. Because this shit right here was unnecessary. And nobody ever stopped to think it was a little traumatizing and upsetting for the Normans. Nobody really stopped to think and say and speak publicly that this man could have gotten hurt. His father, look what's happening to Senior. And his arm is sutured from a bicep tear. So he's still healing. Everybody thought it was funny. And, you know, and even B came out and made jokes, the cornholio jokes, right? But who stood in the gap? Who stood in the gap? Who came out and said this shit is foul publicly? Surely many of us thought that shit, right? It's just things that have been leading up, and again, I have spoke to this that I've not been happy with. The feeling that let me make this disclaimer. I absolutely understand and want Devin and Junior to build this fight the way we like fighters to talk shit to each other, getting in each other's face, some shoving matches. Absolutely, I'm cool with that. No problems with that. But what I don't like is after Bill made he put out there that he had 24 hours that they were going to cancel the fight. I don't like the aspersions that were cast, putting a blanket on that man that he's a drug cheat. Nobody took a second to consider again how Brian Norman was feeling when he declined. He felt like he was being punked, y'all. This is behind New York. This is behind things that have happened from the very beginning. with the Haneys acting like they're running this fight when we all know it's freaking Turkey putting up the bag, offering up and over the contracts. So this man feels away. So no, he didn't want to immediately just say yeah, because he's a man. I got men in my chat, and I need, please, honest feedback. Please, I need honest feedback from some of the men in my chat. When you feel like you've been disrespected, regardless of whether you're the B side, regardless of whether the guy that you're going into, let's just say a contract, let's just say you're a contractor, but the man that you are going into business with has been disrespectful to you, he and his business partner. Now they're throwing down demands that are not in your contract and making demands on you. And they've gone public in these demands, and the public is just outraged at you because you said no, because you feel like you're being pumped. How do you feel as a man if somebody's trying to tell you what you absolutely have to do? I really would like some honest answers. Somebody put stipulations on you, but they've been less than friendly and kind to you, but we're going into business. And it's over and above what we consider, maybe a little dirty business tactics, maybe a little uncomfortableness in doing business with each other. But yeah, first of all, shout out to my beautiful sis, Queen 71. Everybody is not trying to hear what this man is saying, sadly, because lines have been drawn, dies have been cast, and people are separating. It's already taking place, Queen. Blessings to you. How you doing, King? The King BGB. That's what I call our brother. If you want me to be honest, no disrespect, I don't see what the problem is if I'm clean. Yep. Taking the test is not that deep. No disrespect, Queen. Absolutely. And this is the major consensus. Kano Loco, my big bro. How you doing, King? Welcome in. It's good to see you. And no one is more disrespectful than Bob Arum. Okay. Just being honest. I see the men ain't gonna answer, so that's fine. And many of you probably hold this feeling. But in saying that, does that mean what I have said is any less relevant? That people get in their feelings, that people feel a way about the way they've been handled, and that dictates how they respond. It doesn't, no matter what y'all say. No matter what y'all say. Y'all have not walked in his shoes. I haven't walked in his shoes. I absolutely felt like, yeah, B, just sign. A few days before Bill put the stipulation out, Turkey was on this same venue, and he said for him in his fight, he requires 8 weeks of testing. We have 4 months to go. We absolutely know and understand what happened to Devin Haney. So we are understanding that they want extra testing. As the public, we absolutely are understanding. We absolutely are like, yeah, if you're clean, just do it. And Bill's offering to pay for it. And that's noble. The extra 2 weeks pushes this up to 18 weeks. None of us are inclined to be put out of the way of our daily lives to take this testing. And I don't even think that that's an issue with Brian Norman Jr. having to take the test because he wants this fight. Before I said I didn't think Bill and Devin do, but I've changed my mind. I believe they want this fight as well. They just want a clean fight, and that is absolutely correct, and it is a good thing. I just need people to stop jumping the gun based off of something that 1, 2, 3 individuals say. Individuals who are not privy to all information. Again, in this community, we pride ourselves on being pro-Black. But no one felt anything about this Black man and how he felt and what he was going through. So let's move forward. He gets on Sean Porter's podcast. We know who the coons are in this community. These ex-boxers who are now turned podcasters. We absolutely know. Fighters still go on there. And again, these fighters are not aware of the information that we are, and we don't know everything. They know everything that's going on with them. They're not following drug testing and all this stuff, you guys. The Haneys are because of what's happened to them. I don't want to say they are totally isolated, but to some degree they are, because that's what happened to them. And we saw the blowback from our community, from the greater boxing community. Most people vilified Devin behind that. And that is a shame. But we need to deal in reality. They are somewhat isolated in the fact that they want this testing. Do you all realize that Devin Haney is the only, now this is upon me checking, he's the only one in 365. Senior told me there's 4 people. I could not find that for the life of me. So maybe there are 4 other fighters as well. Or 4 including Devin. I'm not privy to that information. I've only seen Devin on the VADA site in 365. So again, to some degree, he's very isolated. And it's sad. At the end of the day, though, it is an individual's choice as to whether or not they want to be on 365. Do I feel like they all should be enrolled in VADA or some type of testing? Absolutely. And there are more testing facilities out there aside from VADA, as well as, like I said earlier, the commissions conduct tests. Brian Norman Sr. was on Drew's channel and said that they believed that Jen Sasaki could be dirty and that they did not know of any testing. But upon getting to Japan, guess what, you guys? The commission there did indeed conduct a test. Does that make him a bad person or a liar because he was not aware of that before they got there? It doesn't. Again, this goes into information that people are not privy to or aware of. We didn't know that. He didn't know it before he got there. I just don't like the finger pointing. Absolutely don't. But as far as what Junior said about VADA, understand that this man's never been signed up to VADA. He's not in the boxing community listening to the conversations that we have. Not all fighters are aware of what's going on. Not all fighters that are not on VADA are aware of other testing facilities because maybe they're just getting tested by the commission. It's just crazy to me. And I've been guilty of this. But now that I am aware, I'm making y'all aware. And I'm asking people again, and I will ask it again. Relax and fall back. Stop just coming out here pointing fingers at people and judging. You want to be mad at Sean Porter? Fine. I ain't mad at that at all. because Sean Porter just seems to be out here just saying any old thing, and I'm gonna get to that because, as well as the post he put out, he did an interview speaking to the blowback, so to speak. I don't give a damn about Sean Zattel. I don't have nothing to say for him. He's not us. That being said, look, let me go on and get into it. Hey Thomas, I was a little bit behind here. Grand rising to you, sunshine. How you doing today? I was a little bit behind. Um, how you doing, odd fella? How you doing? It's good to see you. It's always good to see you. An honest question: if you had been cheated for the world to see, clowned in a fight, and the fighter you're fighting next wanted to push testing back, would you not? I'm not upset with Devin for feeling that way. What I am upset with, King Fuse, is I don't think you came in the beginning, the tact, being tactful, the way it was approached. Why was it made public? Why did not Bill just go to the Normans? He has their phone numbers. He has their manager's numbers. So why get on the Twitter and put out an ultimatum? Why not just call them and say, hey y'all, you agreed on July 10th to VADA. When can we get that started? Why does it have to be a spectacle made? And in the spectacle, our brother was made to seem like he could possibly be dirty. But nobody cares about that shit. Nobody seems to care about that. We know Devin was victimized, absolutely, and I have absolutely said that is not right. There's no question about that. There's nothing about any of this that I'm saying where I'm beating up on Devin about what happened to him. I've been in these damn YouTube streets stomping for Devin in non-Devin chats. I understand, and I appreciate your support. I really do. Thank you for being here if you're still here. I never had speculation B was on any type of PEDs. I'm glad he decided to take, as am I. Again, the day that the ultimatum was put out, I absolutely felt like B should have been like, hell yeah, I'll take the test. But I'm not that man. I'm not walking in his shoes. I did not plan a vacation before all this and have intentions on going and doing something else and getting my mind off of my job. But he did, clearly. Not to mention all the things. And I'm not blaming you, 2 Cents. You already know. And I already believe I know where you stand. And I'm not even talking to anyone in particular in this chat. This is a general message because there are things that I'm seeing in general all around. If the shenanigans pass your line of manhood, move on from the fight and the circus. We are all aware of the circus that certain fighters travel with. Hey, Akondo, how you doing, beloved? It's good to see you, and I hope you are feeling well. I really do. What happened on the show? I'm okay. I don't watch it either. You know, we don't watch a lot of these things. But now that all this bullshit is falling out, like I don't watch the Boxing Voice, but have I been watching the Boxing Voice because of all this shit? Yeah. After this blows over, do you think I'm going to watch that show? Absolutely, I'm not. It's not my cup of tea. Yeah, the public stuff is insane. Reasons I never. We talked about this before. Everything don't have to be made public, and especially when it can put someone in a bad light. It's mudslinging at its finest, in my opinion. You all don't have to feel that way, but it is how I feel. Thank you, family. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So let me turn this music off because I have something I do want to share with you all, right? I cannot show this actual stream, but here we are. And I've told y'all I don't like these gentlemen going onto this show. But on the Sean Porter show, Junior basically said he felt a way about Snack and its ties with Victor Conti. Now, again, us in our community, we know about Victor. We know his proximity to Vada. The only thing that I will say, hey, Marky Dan, the historian, how are you doing, family? Salute, beloved. The ultimatum was petty. Thank you. I'm glad I'm not alone and I'm not the only one who sees these things. He said he took an issue. He has an issue with Vada because of his connection with Victor Conti. Now we all know Victor Conti has nothing to do with Vada, aside from, I guess, the setting up initially of and providing them with information as to um, things that people were using to get past drug testing, right? I'm a spectator. I know, family, and I don't care what you say. I'm gonna miss you, but I know it's bullshit like this that ran my great brother off. Um, so everyone was upset. Everyone is upset with Brian for casting a shadow onto Victor Conti. And Sean Porter made, well, look, I will get into this interview and he'll even say what was said. That they'll discuss that, right? Um, Let me know if you guys cannot hear this. My grandbaby's upstairs sounding off, so I hope y'all can't totally hear her. But she gonna do what she do. She's 5 months, right? Let me know if you can hear this. Just give me a one once it starts playing, please.
Did you see Bill Haney's latest response claiming that you're the one that introduced them to Victor Conti in California during one of their many sparring sessions with you?
You're welcome. You're welcome. In this day and age, athletes need supplements. Okay? There's a difference between supplements and PEDs. Okay? Supplements, vitamins, things to help you with your performance, things that are going to help you renourish your nutrients and things like that, especially for a sport where we don't get to eat as much and we don't get to drink the right things and all those sorts of things. Snack is what helps you basically connect the dots. Everything that you've lost in training and sweating and all those kinds of things, they have supplements that help you replenish, renourish, so on and so forth. So you're welcome, Haney team, for being introduced to a company that can help you with everything that you have to do and put out in a training camp.
Why do you think that Haney is the one that is, I guess, has so much suspicion around him? I mean, power punching, 100% knockout ratio, Virgil Ortiz is with Snack. We don't hear anything. Mario Barrios just fought with a Snack patch and has been a Snack athlete for at least 12 years. We don't hear anything. Why do you think there is, I don't know, a dark cloud lingering over the connection between Haney and Conti and Vada? In your opinion, right?
My guess, and I mean, come on now, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm so ignorant to this stuff. I'm ignorant. Didn't know Willie Nelson tested positive. Didn't know Luis. I think I knew that Luis Ortiz had tested positive at one point.
Hold on, you all. I may have started this a little bit too soon or too far back. Let me correct that.
Coming from a guy who's still active in the sport. I only use the ZMA, I only use the proglycin. I said, wow, it's the only thing I've ever used too, because those were the only supplements we felt like we needed. You know what I mean? So anybody out there that's got something wrong with Snack, got something wrong with Victor Conti, get away from him. The dude is trying his best to do the right things. But when I said that's all that needs to be said, it's because there is a conflict of interest. I know that Victor Conti has advised Vada at some capacity. I don't know if he's still advising them or whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, I do believe that there is a conflict of interest there because he has had dealings with Vada, and he also, is helping athletes as well.
Okay, so when B said what he said, Sean Porter said that's all that needs to be said, and it is Sean Zettel who kind of tried to lay into the fact that there's a connection between Victor Conti and Snack still. I mean, and Vada. And Sean Porter said that's all that needs to be said. And everybody felt a way about that. They feel like Sean should have corrected Brian Norman Jr. The thing is, we don't know that he didn't. All we know is what happened on the show. We don't know. They talk to each other outside the show. So we don't know that he has not said anything in defense of Victor Conte to him, or the importance of taking VADA testing, or that in his personal opinion this snack is harmless. We don't know that. But everybody just flew off the handle and is mad. And I really don't give a damn if y'all are mad at Sean Porter, because again, I have my own feelings about Sean Porter. But what I don't like is the assumption that Brian Norman Jr. is privy to all the information that we in this community are privy to, and we still don't know everything. These fighters, they're not. You would think that maybe they should be, because they're in the business. Again, I told you, some of these guys have not ever been on VADA. They don't know about no damn testing facilities and the names of them. Because I heard that Brian is dumb and he's ignorant and he's stupid, because he asked them, can you guys give me another agency outside of VADA to do testing alongside of? So is he wrong for that? For one to cross his cross his T's and dot his I's? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's his choice and his prerogative. And it's obviously going to be his money if he does that. Bill is going to do the extra 8 weeks of testing before the mandatory 8. And it's actually more than 8 for him. It's going to be 10 weeks. Because he chose to say yes and started before August 1st while he's on his vacation. But yet everybody still, I don't even know why this is a fucking conversation anymore. When this man has agreed to the testing. Fuck what fucking Sean Porter said, and definitely fuck what Sean Zattel said. I don't like all the finger pointing, mudslinging, the shadow that's being cast over Brian, and the assumption that he should know, when all these guys are not privy to this information. Devin Haney has something very specific happen to him. He's in a very specific position. Being that he is an A-side fighter, he does have the ability to ensure, and there's nothing wrong with this, I'm not against it, that these fighters are clean that are fighting him. And we absolutely want him to be an example to other fighters. So again, I don't have an issue with anything about the fact that they're requiring testing. I just do not like the way they went about doing it. And I'm repeating this again for the people who are just joining. For your brother, Brian Norman Jr., who also is a human with feelings, who feels like he was being bullied, badgered, punked, because of the manner that this was handled in, including everything that happened in New York. I don't think he gives a damn about Devin saying he's nobody and he's fought nobody. Again, that's just lead up to a fight. That's normal shit. But getting your hands, somebody's hands put on you. Look, the things that were said before New York between their fathers, these are things that make people feel some way. He's not a fucking robot. He's a human too. Oof. The publicity is the whole point of bringing up the testing. It's a storyline, and we're talking about the fight 4 months out. The word of the day is tact, Marky Dan, and being tactful. I'm not going to go over the definition again for those who don't know. Look it up. There's a way to handle things and deal with things. And we have different opinions. I don't feel like that was a tactful way of going about handling this. Because you can call this a lead up and a storyline, but we are dealing still with people. And then to me, this goes over and above a lead up to a fight. It gets a little personal then. And sometimes the lead up to fights do get personal. But This man got people out here. Your black brother has people out here calling him a drug cheat. And then some of y'all, this is where being professional will be tested at every turn. I agree. Clickbait and narratives is why it will continue to be spoken of. Yeah, I agree. Hey, how you doing, Eric Jordan? Blessings to you, brother. Welcome. Welcome in, welcome in. So let this continue to play and I'll just speak to some of it.
Now, as far as your time in boxing professional.
And even though I'm not promoting, shout out to the Boxing Voice for this content, okay? Shout out to Ness.
Who have you happened to just stumble across on and realize, okay, USADA caught John Doe for XYZ. WADA, World Anti-Doping Agency, caught John Doe for XYZ. Aren't you more familiar with hearing FADA caught John Doe?
When I was in the amateur program, the Olympic Committee, they use USADA. So when I turned pro, I was used to USADA, and I think USADA was involved with the game probably my first half of my career, and then as I was approaching the end of my career, everything became about VADA. When it comes to somebody getting called on something, I'm not even sure which agency is the best anti-doping agency. I think that these companies, they all work together. The money is being thrown into a pot, and whoever has the most respect, whoever has the best reputation, whoever's the busiest, that's who gets called on.
So Sean Porter's not even aware of any agencies, and he's an ex-fighter. And shout out to Drew Titan this morning. I was not aware of what happened between him and Paulie Malignaggi, but he's had his own issues. But he just said he's not even aware of any of these extra agencies, but he has an overall feeling about them. Everybody don't know every goddamn thing, y'all. They don't. And I hear you, Marky Dan. I don't agree with you. We're going to agree to disagree. We're going to agree to disagree. It is what it is, right? I feel you. Welcome in, first of all, Dr. Boxing Talk. I've never seen you here, so welcome to my channel. Please like my video. I feel you. I share those exact sentiments. I'm not mad at either side, nor am I. I'm not mad at Bill and him. I just feel away, y'all. I don't feel like it's right. We should absolutely advocate for clean boxing. However, I feel the Normans too. The manner in which it was done was a bit much. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad I'm just not alone. The Sweet Science Examiner, Shalom Aki. Thank you for coming in. I don't think I've seen you in here either. And there goes my other young brother, my young bro, my little bro. What's going on, Tay? Welcome. Let me see. In my opinion, when Norman Sr., after that bodyguard incident, he went live on IG saying if he was a bitch like Devin Haney, the Haneys, he would sue. Now, see, that was low, and we know why the Haney sued also. I agree. He didn't have to say that. And you know what? I have sat here and said that the Haneys were wrong. I could absolutely say Senior was wrong for saying that because we do all know why the Haney sued, and I'm not against that either. I was definitely an advocate for him suing Ryan. That whole fight was a shit show from beginning to the very end. So okay. Already, like, thank you, family. I appreciate you. So let me keep going a little with this, but again, Sean Porter just said clearly he's not even aware of other testing agencies, and we know he's not a current fighter, but please understand that there are people in the game right now who have never taken VADA. They're just getting tested by the commissions per fight. Some people probably are not getting tested at all, Does that mean that they're dirty? It absolutely does not. They don't know extra testing facilities. We just found out about the ITA with Imam Katayev. I ain't never heard of the dang ITA before, y'all. International Testing Association. I never heard of that before. Have y'all? Like, there are multiple other agencies out there, and Brian Norman Jr. is not aware of them, and he felt a way again, and he don't know. Even the whole situation with Ryan. Some of these fighters absolutely were aware of that, but they did not get into that. We know that. Devin is a special case. And what happened to him it's not a special case because fighters have been cheated before by drug cheaters. We know that. Drug cheaters, the equipment being tampered with. But in his being in 365, in his being an advocate for clean testing from the beginning to the end, he is a special case, you guys. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Shout out to Devin for promoting a clean environment in boxing. We absolutely need that. Not against that. Also, let me say one thing, because I saw this floating around and I was made aware. So let me make you all aware. Ramirez, he absolutely enrolled in testing when he fought Vada. I saw people saying that this wasn't done to him. It was. But guess what? It was done behind the scenes. Do y'all remember Bill coming out and demanding Ramirez sign up for Vada or else? You don't. That's the whole point of this for me, right? That's the whole point of this. All they got to do, Tay, you in here, if you have the ability, or any of you wrenches that have the ability, please link Tay's video. Please link it, because it does. I'm not in the business. I just happen to talk to the other side of this scenario. So I have a little information. I'm sharing it with you guys. But even before I ever spoke to Senior, I told y'all this is gonna get nasty. It's gonna get nasty. It's way too long to wait for this freaking fight to happen. And now it's probably what 17 weeks, roughly. It's so much that can happen between now and then, and the fight can be called off. We are praying it's not. What we should be doing is lifting up both of these men and enjoying their banter, enjoying them going back and forth. I don't even want to hear Bill or Senior no more. I don't, because it just gets so nasty, so ugly. Just let Brian and let Devin be fighters. Let them talk shit to each other. I love that. Let them shove each other. I love that. Let them work this out. They are the celebrities in this. They are the fighters in this. And we have a long way to go. I'm almost to the point, honestly, where I don't even want to talk about this goddamn fight until it's 8 weeks out, right? What Kano said? Money. Yes. Testing costs a lot of money too. Not always do they have. We're talking about people who have a job as well as boxing. 40, who got 40,000 racks just sitting around waiting, and that's why I said shout out to Bill to be able to fund the extra testing that he's requiring. Shout out and willing to pay for it. Shout out to Bill for that. I'm not mad at that at all. That's great. And then Brian saying, is there another facility on the side? Who do y'all think's paying for that? It's likely not going to be Bill. It's going to be him, but it is his right. If he feels a way, that is his right. That's his right. Blessings 903. Welcome in, family. It's good to see you. It's always good to see you. 903 be cooking, y'all. So many of y'all. Again, if you have a channel, please by all means feel free to link your channel in the chat. Let me help some other individuals that we just got in here. Please, if you have a channel, I'm always open to creators, right? Sharing information. Link your channel in the chat, right? Um, NBA and UFC uses DFSI for tech. I've never heard of that. I'm not a fighter though, so am I okay with that? Absolutely. My good brother Michael Ray, blessings and welcome in. Hold on, you guys. My son need to get some ice. So who didn't know fighting Devin, the Haney's you finna be tested up the wazoo after the cheating incident? And one, the ink was on the paper. There's no now see, where is your proof? And who have you talked to, Mind Mansa Musa? Because I said from the very beginning, there was an agreement made July 10th, or when they were in New York, there was an agreement made, verbal, that he would indeed do extra VADA testing. That's not a contract, sir. That's not on paper. So there was no ink. The ink is with Turkey al-Sheikh for 8 weeks of mandatory testing for the fight that he's paying for. Not the over and above. That is why Bill's paying for it. There's no contract. There may be one now, but there was not a contract. Matter of fact, look. How you doing? How you doing, D-Man? Welcome in, beloved. It's good to see you. Picasso, how you doing? How you doing, family? Tay, if you're still in here, please, sir. If you are, give me a second, you guys. So I can get Tay. He said he'll come on and he'll speak to it. Mind you, let me be clear and put this out here. Tay is, we all know that he knows Brian Norman Sr. He's been knowing him. He's the one who actually introduced him to the YouTube community, right? Let me make sure I could do this again real quick, you guys, because something weird may happen. I just made a boo-boo. But he's willing to come on and stand in the gap. Y'all can call him Team Norman if you want to. Here we go. I was able to correct that without getting cut off here. He's not their manager. Let's be clear. He's not their manager. This link is for Tay only. But he works with them. He works in the camp. He talks to them. This is his people. He knows them. He's privy to more information than I am, right? Tay?
What's good? What's going on?
It's got to be you, fam.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, Jason. It's a lot going on, but you're aware of all that, right?
Yeah.
So are you aware that the Normans agreed in New York to sign up for VADA?
Yeah, it was a video floating around when they told them they was going to enroll.
Okay. Was that No, a verbal agreement because I want to be right when what I said, or was that a contract that was on paper? Are you aware of any of that information?
I just know that they requested it. Of course, you seen Bill say something like maybe like 2 days before they got there. I know there was a meeting with Turkey on the very first day in New York or whatever, and that was one of the reasons why you seen at the end of the video, not the altercation video, but the video before that when Devin was saying he's small and things of that nature, and before he walked off, you seen Brian Norman Jr. say we're enrolling in Nevada, and then you kind of see Devin and Bill kind of come back and say like what, and then you see Norman Senior say we're rolling in Nevada. So yeah, for sure. But I know for a fact that Turkey agreed to pay 8 weeks. Um,
He made that clear on the Boxing Voice. That
yes,
is his requirement.
right. That's
8 weeks
that's it.
before the fight, not any time before the 8 weeks leading up to the fight.
Right. So
Right.
and initially, Brian doesn't have he doesn't have to test um, until then. He really don't have to do anything until then because the promoter is paying for it. Now, if he chooses to do something on the outside, in which he agreed to do, okay, 16, and where
Mm,
the 2 extra weeks come from, of course, is Bill requesting it, which is no problem. But at the same time, I think people get it um, confused of what he should be doing it now. He don't have to do it now. You know what I mean?
hmm
And then on top of that, even though he said he was on going on vacation, he still had a lot of other things in life going on, like the passing of his grandmother just happened yesterday. You
It
know what
just
I mean?
happened yesterday morning.
So at the end of the day, he still had things going on. And of course, the pushback wasn't that he didn't want to test. It was just that, right now I got other shit going on, and right now I don't want to do it. But then also, the pushback also came from, them trying to they use their power as if what I mean they can do this and they can do that.
This is what I said, but
Right?
thank you for
That's
backing up what I said.
right. That's where that come from. But the fans they only see it from well, I'm gonna say one some individuals they only see it from their side, which is no problem, right? But when you're a fan of a fighter, you're only gonna see it from one side, and that's not a problem at all. But again, I think people don't realize that how the testing works and how it goes. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about if he what's the word? He wants the 365. Bill agreed to pay for the 365. There's a difference between being enrolled in VADA
Potter and
and
365.
365. There's a total big difference, and I think that's another thing that people have the misconception on as well. The 365, of course, we know that's cost like $40,000 to $60,000. And if they got it, fine. That's fine, perfect. Bill agreed to pay for that for the extra 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. But then again, you got to look at it like this: who's to say that they gonna come right then and there? They can come at any time. So, and what's crazy about it, ironically, they can come literally August 1st.
They
So
can. And I also want people to understand this. We think that with 365 that these people can go, they can show up anywhere at any time. There are certain countries that they don't go to. I wasn't even aware of that till recently.
mm,
So
mhm,
God forbid he went to that country on his vacation,
mhm,
and then what would happen? It would come up that he declined or he failed a test, you guys. And then that would put more negative freaking information out about him, and then there'll be more speculation about him being dirty.
yeah, but and I also, and then again, no matter what people say or how they try to deflect it or whatever the case may be, there's definitely a misconception. You know, after speaking to Deontay, and then of course I spoke to a PBC representative who contacted me. I didn't contact him. But there's a misconception with Victor Conte and this whole VADA thing, and that's the thing that people don't know the true story. People can say he's not involved and things of that nature. Listen, there's a whole story that nobody's even talking about or telling that I have privy to knowing. You know what I mean? But
Right.
so, people try to jump down Norman Jr. back about him saying what he said, but it was okay for Devin to go and say the things that he said. And that's the thing that I don't understand. How is it okay for one person to poke at one person, but the other person can't poke at the other person? And again, like I think people forget that Norman Jr. just became champ literally over a year ago. You know what I
Right.
mean? And with that being said, the testing thing is the testing stuff. He's fairly new to it. I heard one person, and I was like, damn, they're trying to spin a narrative, and this motherfucker tell me, enlighten me. Well, I could say it now, but the thing about it is, on these regional cards, nobody's getting drug tested. On these coming up, nobody's getting drug tested.
Mm,
Even when he first signed let's say when he first signed with Top Rank, he wasn't doing Vada right off the bat. A lot of that was either coming from the commission itself, or he was in a fight where the promoter paid for the Vada. That's simply put.
mm.
So a lot of
Oh,
these
now
guys
I didn't even see that.
a
Okay.
lot of a lot of these guys don't even get drug tested. So that's especially on some of these regional cards, or even some of the let's say like the OTX card here, right?
Right.
Um, I remember one fight I was in the back. I didn't even see like at least two of the fighters test. But when it came to a championship fight that was on OTS card, I saw those guys test. So that let me know, okay, well, these guys didn't they know the promoter didn't pay for these guys to test, but he paid for these guys to test. But some people just don't know how it works, and it's totally fine. And that's where the misconstrued information come from. People think that they know so much about everything, and it's okay to say, well, I don't know. How does it work? It's no I ain't gonna say right or wrong, but it's, if you don't know, you don't know. But just don't go put something in the chat because you think that you know, and things of that nature. And it does go off a contract. If the contract states and he says I'm going off for 8 weeks, and Turkey told him that he's paying for 8 weeks, he's paying for 8 weeks. He's not obligated to do anything else outside of that contract.
Right. But because he wants to fight, like we all want to fight, but he's the fighter, he
Right.
complied. Which is
Right.
why I said I don't understand why this is still even a conversation.
Well,
Outside of the Sean Porter incident, I guess, but I don't even think that
but see,
that.
but even like, okay, so let's talk about the Sean Porter thing. Even on the Sean Porter podcast, the thing that caught me, and I don't know why I didn't raise eyes to any other people, is that one somebody said, well, we was just talking about, I think it was Sean. Sean said before, we was just talking about that before the show. Now, because I know what's going on with Norman right now,
Mhm.
I didn't want to call him and bother him about that and stuff like that. But I want to know, what were they talking about before they started the show? What was he on the line when they was talking about that before the show? Because
Mhm.
me listening to Brian, it
Mhm.
sounded like something that was almost regurgitated, right? And
Mm.
that's fair enough to say, because you already heard Sean say we was just talking about that before the show. And then of course Brian, by him being fairly a new champion, he doesn't know too much about the testing. He even asked, what other testing agencies can I use? But he does know about the tweet when Devin said that Victor Conte is my godfather, right?
Mm.
He does know about that. But any fighter that sees that, they will say something, whether it's poking at the fighter or not. They will say something. Any fighter would.
Well, mm. Look, I just want people to be considerate. Um, and you said it here as well. Sometimes people have other things going on in their lives. Ain't none of us perfect, and I don't think all these fighters follow the storylines that are going on within the boxing community as people who imbibe this information. We don't even imbibe all the information. I try to get all the information I can and give it to you guys because I know y'all work. Y'all can't do and sit and listen to a lot of the shit that I'm listening to, right? How many of y'all heard this um interview with him and Sean Porter on the Boxing Voice? Like, You didn't. And Tay, as a fighter, are you privy to other testing agencies? Like, for
Yeah.
instance, the fact that Brian asked Sean on the show, do you know of any other agency? Do you know of any outside that you were able to direct him to as a
Oh yeah,
fighter?
yeah.
So you
Of
do,
course.
but he didn't.
Right now I do.
Yeah.
Now I
Okay.
do.
See, now you do. I don't think people should knock him for not knowing any other outside entities
Cause
outside of
yeah,
freaking
cause
water.
like I said before, the only time I was tested was the Ndungo fight. You know what I mean?
Mm,
But outside of that, I've never been tested. So it's for me that was new. I'm like, what the fuck I gotta tell you? Know what I mean?
okay.
Like
So
what
with
I
you
do? You
saying
know what I
that,
mean?
have
Hmm.
okay, out with you saying that. So outside of the Ndongo fight, was it ever in your mind that I need to go get drug tested? Have you ever thought about that outside of the Ndongo fight?
No, hell no, because you literally do what is called a combat collective. You get your pee samples for it's like your blood work done. That other
Mm,
than that, but I think when they test for that, when they doing tests for that, I think that's to see if you have like contracted HIV or something like that. Because of course
right.
they're not gonna let you fight. So that's what more so of what that is. You know what I'm saying? So that part, and then when you do those tests, normally that's good for 6 months. So it's like you not getting tested. You see what I'm saying?
Right. We
Once you do that combat collective, for the like say for instance, I haven't fought in a year, right? But I
hmm
know coming up when if I got something coming up, I have to go get that blood work done. Once I get that blood work done, it's good for 6 months, and that's in any state.
mm.
It
Okay.
could be 6
Some
months.
something I want to bring up. We've seen card fighters on major cards. We can think back to Regis, and I can't remember who he was fighting, but this was very very recent.
Hmm.
And he kept saying, look, nobody's testing. I ain't been tested, and I don't know that the individual I'm fighting is being tested. So
Hmm.
it's even on the grander scale, you guys, like
Right, because and that probably means that the promoter didn't pay for vital testing, or Wasada or whoever else out there, he didn't pay for it. But I guarantee you, he probably piss test. The same thing that happened with Brian Norman Jr. in Japan. There was no testing for that fight, but the Japanese commission, gave him a urine test.
so that is their testing. That's their form of testing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I said. That's what I told them earlier. And I said, because Senior was not privy to that information before he got to Japan, it doesn't mean that he lied when he said that there's no testing over there. He didn't
Yeah,
know.
and the other part, and the only person who told me otherwise was Matt from Brunch Boxing. He told me, he said, well, that probably means that the promoter didn't pay for testing leading up to the fight, but I can guarantee you that the Japanese commission may test him, and he did. What's crazy about that, he was the only person and the first person to ever tell me that.
Look. Our fella just said Brian said he got tested in Japan. Japan Boxing Commission defers to WADA as well. Thank you, our fella, for that information. Because again, you guys, that's why I say, as a community, it's really important that we not just jump into conclusions and there let shit work itself out when stuff is made public like this. Our fella gets information that I never even go out to think and look for. He's not a fighter, but he finds information. So shout out to you, our fella, for that bit of information, because I didn't know that. But now going forward, I can share that with people. I agree with the Normans if what Bill is asking for is outside. And apparently, to my understanding, 903, it is outside the contract of the 8 weeks leading up to the Turkey fight. And Tay just said here, I said 18 weeks of testing. He's saying it's 16 weeks that they'll be
Yeah,
testing.
it was 16 weeks that he agreed to do. Turkey's paying for 8.
But by coming out publicly, he pushed it up to 18 weeks now. Before
Yeah,
that, okay.
because he was saying like, why not enroll now?
And I'm not, you know what? And that's what
But
I've
my
been
whole
saying.
thing, my
I'm not
thing was,
mad.
Like, no, I'm not mad at, like, that's the thing. Nobody's mad about it, but it was how it was done. Like, you literally went right back to the media after Turkey called you out about it the previous day. Not only did you go back the previous day and do that, you also led a misconception to the fans. Oh, well, if you ain't gonna do this, we're not gonna fight. Well, I know that's a lie because I know if you don't fight, I know what's gonna happen next. Like, again, I talked to Turkey's boss. So
Mm,
so you know, but you know, I don't want to go dig another, hole with that one.
right.
But even, even talking to yesterday, talking to his cut man, Lamar Langford, he insisted some things, and he said out his own mouth, he said, well, we know that he can't get out the fight, but it's more so of Brian, you know what, saying, you know what, fuck it, I ain't got nothing to hide, but I'm giving pushback, for the reasons of motherfuckers think they running things, but at the same time, I don't want you to go nowhere. I can't wait till the 22nd. And
Hmm.
he said that at dinner the other night. But when you say things like you said on your screen, do as you're told, like I said before, me personally, I never thought that this was about testing. I never thought it was about
I
testing.
said that I felt like there was, but I've been saying that. I've publicly got on my platform and said I feel like they are trying to. You guys have been saying it's a dick swinging contest. I feel like it's just being petty, like it's being I don't want to say bullying, but it is that you're trying to punk this man. That's why I said people don't
Well, I
understand
mean,
how Junior feels in this. He's a man, he has feelings. If you guys call yourself pro-black, then don't support the fucking bullshit. Don't You can't be out here saying, "Oh, I'm pro-black, I'm for my people, I'm for my brothers in boxing," but then this man's getting treated wrong, and you guys don't say a goddamn thing. But then when Devin, we all understand and we all feel for Devin. Just like 903 said, and I said this earlier too, we all understand where Bill's coming from, but it is an isolated case what happened to him, and it's wrong that they were cheated by Ryan Garcia. We absolutely understand and know that. We sympathize with that. But what you don't get to do is go hurt somebody else because you've been hurt. Yeah, you can require the testing, but why be petty? Why have no tact and go publicly on a venue where mess has been being slung anyway, and then say you got 24 hours, you got it, and on fucking Twitter even,
hey,
Twitter.
but the last thing I would have done, right? Let's now, even if it wasn't done on that platform, it'd be different. But the fact that it was done on that platform with a known rat, with a known informant, it only
Mm.
made things look crazy to me because again, it's like you're setting this up not only for your likes, clicks, and views, but you're setting this up in a way, and that it shouldn't be done. You know what I mean? You are um, engaging in the nonsense. Again, that man has seen your number. He called. In fact, after
This
he
is what I
called,
said.
he has seen your number. After he publicly went at his mother, he called Senior and apologized. Right. So how come and how is it that you couldn't just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, we're
And
gonna
so,
request this"?
thank you.
How
I
how
said this
how
before you came
how,
on.
how can you pick up the phone, call AC, call Jolene?
I said they
Uh,
got the manager's number, they got the Norman's number. Why not call
uh,
them and do business in a manner which is not again what is with the public, and I even said from the very beginning with him
mhm.
coming out and trying to flex and act like he's running shit. Will your son take this amount? Well, that's not up to you to say, sir. That is up to Turkey. So
You
why
know,
is Bill putting
you
this
want
image out here?
you want to know the crazy part about that is he don't even know how much Norman would get compensated because
Mm.
he himself told me that he wouldn't know that side. He will only know their side.
But that's
He
not how he's perceiving, putting out this
my
public perception.
that's why I be sitting back laughing at everybody in the chat because that particular side or those particular people only hears what he says to them Yeah, you might call him, let him sit on the phone and listen to shit and things of that nature. But I know what he told me. I know what he said to me. He could only negotiate their side, which is why I asked him, are you talking about the 1.6 or are you talking about the 2 mil? Because I asked him.
We see why certain fights don't get made. Boxing has a lot of bad business. And I have said this before. There are so many freaking variables. And it kills me now that I'm starting to understand things that people get on here every damn day and act like they know every fucking thing that's going on, every little nuance. There's no way, you guys. So stop believing everything this freaking said. There's
Right.
no way we would be privy to that information because we're not the fighters, we're not the managers, we're not in the goddamn business. So
Right.
what are the arguments for? What is the mudslinging for? You pro black, please be pro black. Please be considerate of Junior's feelings, just like we have always been considerate of Devin's feelings and what's
Well,
happened to him.
well, the thing about it is they call it standing on business. They
That
call
ain't
it,
standing on. That's standing on
they,
bullshit.
and that's calling
Yes.
uh was I forget the other word that they use, but but if you say something outside of what they know or don't know, then
Mm.
you're a monkey or you're a coon or you're this, you're that, you know. But I can put out a story right now about that whole thing and squabble that whole little story, that whole little narrative that they're trying to push. But I was really trying to wait on Cutman Lamont Langford, you know what I mean?
Well,
But
do
like I
that.
said before, I again, people would say Victor Conte doesn't work with Snack, right? Well, one of the ladies who founded Vada, she publicly, no, I ain't gonna say publicly. I'm not gonna say that publicly.
Not Margaret Goodman.
She
Mm.
I'm not gonna say any names, but a lady who founded Vada, uh, she privately told someone, this is back in like '05 and '06. And again, I know this to be true because I've heard it from two different people. Um, that is currently still in the boxing game, working with PBC, and of course, if I could also ask Deontay because he knows too. But um, she stated that back in '05, '06, that she was working with Victor Conti, and then out of nowhere she started saying that she's not working with Victor Conti. But think about it, how Victor Conti know about everybody test before they do.
Uh,
How
Tay,
why does Victor Conte always bring up Vada? Why?
Tay, look, I'm a very analytical person. I ask questions every time I see him. Every time anything comes out about Vada, why does he seem to be the public spokesperson? Don't they have a spokesperson
Thank
that
you.
works for? This is
Thank
the
you.
question I ask myself. But
He's always the
I think,
spokesperson. He'll tweet out congratulations to such and such from completing their Vada. Well, how the fuck do you know? And how the fuck he don't know? And why in the hell is Vada not saying anything but you're saying something?
hmm well,
So,
surely
but
they are, Picasso. Yeah.
but then again, they'll tell you, oh, we don't have any correlations. We don't work. But I know what was said back in '05, '06
Mm.
before Vada came about. I know what was said, but yeah, I'm gonna leave that for a different day.
Well, I tell you
That's
what.
that's why I just be laughing though, because again, everybody know everything, and then when you say that you get mad at Little B for saying what he said, but again, he could, like I said, he could have just been poking at Devin, but at the same time, didn't Devin tweet that that's my godfather? That would lead to suspicion to anybody, you know what I mean? But because I know about this story, and I'm probably sure that 1% of people in this chat probably know the story as well. That's why I'm able to stand. That's why I'm able to say what I say in confidence because I know, I
Right.
know, and it's people in boxing who knows that's called this situation, or who have called me, or have called people close to the situation, and to say that's clown shit.
hmm
Yeah, for sure.
Look, you said a lot of things. I know you came in a little bit later. I thank you for coming up because you kind of just reiterated what I said. You kind of backed up what I said. Now, again, son, I don't know everything. Tay know way more than me. So I appreciate you coming up here and speaking to it. If you guys will, go subscribe to Tay. He has good information and not just on this type of bullshit. Like he's locked in and connected in the industry. My good brother Kano, who is not going to be making boxing content no more, he has good information about it. And the thing is, too, you guys, at the end of the day, with Tay, with Kano, with anybody in the LWC, take everything with a grain of salt before you just speak. Try to do some investigating yourself. Like I say, I have time to go and look at interviews and listen to stuff and try to report to you guys where you guys didn't know these things, but I don't know everything. No, none of us know everything. That's why I think it's just important that a lot of times we relax as fans. As fans, we should just be building up both fighters. Pick your sides. That's fine. I
I,
respect somebody who's going for Devin. I've made it very clear I'm going for Brian. I'm not mad at y'all. I love Devin. I love Brian. I want a good ass fight. How about y'all? That's all I'm asking.
yeah, but you know they want to make it into turmoil and all this old crazy shit and say, oh, I'm suspicion and all this, but that suspicion went away when he enrolled, right?
Right.
But then again, it's kind of different when you got a go-to person for information from one side and they spilling it one way and it's not really that way how that person is spilling
That's
it
what I don't like.
because they only hearing it from that one side doesn't mean that everything is always the up and up. Now, why both things can't be true? Or why can't people use their brain to try to figure out what is true and what is right and what is not? You know what I'm saying?
I said before, there's always a gray area. Even if I listen to you and then I listen to someone opposing you, somewhere in the middle of that, and this is how I operate. There's the truth. There is, and it could be more on one side than the other, but there's always two sides. It's not ever just there's the Haney's side and then there's the Norman side, and somewhere
Right,
in the middle is what you as an individual see as the truth. Right,
right.
right. Okay,
But man, hopefully, like I said before, hopefully, everybody can get past it. But
I hope so.
it's just crazy that everybody all of a sudden is so concerned about testing on
Again,
NFL.
yeah, but now with this black man, I don't care what nobody say. I have a whole issue with this. Everybody's pro black, but the way they dogging out this black man, ain't nobody says shit about that. Y'all don't care all of a sudden.
Oh, right, right,
He's
right, right,
black too.
right, right, right. But again, steroids can't win you no fight. You got to go put the work in.
Did we not see that with Brian's last fight?
Absolutely. And Cena
And
said,
did
we don't give a damn about no steroids.
and what did he do? He went over there and knocked. Look, I don't care what y'all say because I said it in my breakdown. I think this man's doping. I don't care. I said I thought Jin Sasaki, but you guess what? In me saying that, I don't know that for a fact. I just said what
Yeah,
I thought, and whether
yeah,
he was or not, he got knocked the fuck out. And the Normans weren't concerned because they had a plan and
yeah.
they acted on it. So just be a fan and enjoy. That's right, Queen.
Yeah, they
Please.
got a massive plan coming up too. So
Okay. Well, look, I'm gonna let you keep that on your channel. I'm gonna let you keep that on your channel.
yeah,
I'm
but
gonna.
I was gonna say I gotta go find that interview that I did with Ryan Blue Chip Martin.
Mm,
And the reason why I keep bringing his name up is because Ryan Blue Chip Martin tested positive. But the thing about that was he fought Josh Taylor in the WBS series, and Ryan, we was in the same gym together in Tennessee, but he was taking Only thing he was taking at that time was snack products. But they said
Mm.
he tests positive. But the thing about it, still to this day, they haven't told him what he tested positive for.
Oh no, that's
So
suspicious.
that right. So that interview, like I said, I did that maybe like I want to say it was like either late 2021 or early 2022. I gotta go find it, but I do remember that I think my channel uh was getting I w- I guess blackball you could say because they was trying to tell me that I was using reused content, and I'm like,
Yeah, like they do
uh,
Stormy. Yeah.
yeah. So I had to erase a lot of things, but if I can definitely call him and get him back on the channel, and I'm positive he'll talk about it.
Well, do that because I'm gonna go a little bit more into this Sean Porter interview he did with Ness.
Oh, he did it with
Again,
Nets. See, I ain't even
yeah,
watched it. Yeah, I ain't even watched it.
yeah, it was yesterday. It started for all of you who are interested at 32 minutes in. He started. So I'm gonna continue to play some of that just so y'all can still understand what he says as far as everything that happened. I feel like I've been clear, and I feel like Tay's been clear on the fact that these fighters ain't privy to everything. We're not privy to everything. I don't think we should totally expect the fighters to know everything about anti-doping. He just said that some people don't even take it.
Yeah, some people don't even take
It's
the
not
anti-doping.
required. So if they're not
Yeah,
requiring it, then should we not be mad at boxing commission and the powers that be? We know that in major fights it's not taking place. Should we be mad at them promoters and them commissioners? We should be. We shouldn't be taking it out. I don't, and you know what? I don't care about Victor Conti. I mean, I know about all that shit. I don't care. I don't care about Snack. I don't. I want to see the fights, and I do want to know that it's clean at the
no,
end of
that's
the
true.
day.
That's the
Okay,
only thing, right?
cheating don't win fights, but cheating don't win, but it sure do help. Oh my God, man supposed to get out of here. Get out of here.
Tell Master Musa we gonna put 10K on the fight. Tell him put 10K or be quiet.
Mm, well, I think he heard me. Beating your brain. Look, y'all take that somewhere else. Look, okay, Tay. I'm gonna go ahead and try to finish this off.
Thomas, that's Thomas.
Yeah,
uh, the white guy Thomas, man. I talked to Thomas last week.
I'm sure you did. I know. Thomas is a hot mess. How about that?
Also, that's the interview right there.
Yeah, it took
Yeah, I
place.
gotta go check it. I gotta go check it out.
Yeah, it was yesterday, and Bill Haney came on. So that's why I say I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play
Said
some of the rest of
Bill
this.
can't. Why Bill had to come on?
Well, it just you're gonna have to listen.
Now you see why I say that. You know what I'm saying? That when you work with informers and they work together, you see what I'm saying? Because
You know, I already know.
that shit was between who Ness and Sean Porter. But again, somebody got to keep the bullshit
Well, he stays being public now. Bill didn't come on to like 2 hours in the show. Sean was on it at the very beginning of the show. So,
going.
but Bill's always gonna make a spectacle. He always gonna pop up. I don't think he didn't speak to what Sean was speaking to. Bill's out there promoting, and it is what it is. But he did say something very important that I do want to highlight as far as everybody not knowing everything, and that includes Bill Haney, y'all. So okay, so I'm gonna finish this up, Tay. But thank
Okay,
you for coming on. I
no
appreciate you.
problem.
I'll talk to you very soon.
Okay, no problem.
All right,
All right.
bye. Okay, so I know y'all's time is precious, so let me go on a little bit with this and just listen to what Sean Porter got to say. And again, do I like or care about Sean Porter? I don't. But some things just need to be heard, right? Let's listen in.
So when it becomes a VADA situation, I just think that it revolves around who boxing is trusting right now to handle the anti-doping. And it seems like VADA is that agency.
I mean, in my time, I've certainly seen VADA catching more high-profile fighters, like VADA caught Lamont Peterson, Andre Bertho. I mean, the list goes on and on. And the amount of fighters, Willie Nelson, Luis Ortiz, countless fighters.
Yo, I had no clue that any of those guys was caught on MC.
No way.
Yeah, no.
Wow. No, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamont Peterson told us he had a doctor's note and he was putting hormone replacement therapy pellets under his arms. Like, I mean, he said he had low T levels, and that's why he did it. There's been a lot, man. Alexander Povetkin, Ryan Garcia. I mean, it's just over and over. There's a lot of people testing positive, but we don't never hear WADA, right? They're the World Anti-Doping Agency, and they're the testing agency that even VADA uses, but they're not out here administering tests. They're not out here taking samples. They're just the big agency that tests everything. So as far as I thought, VADA was out here doing a good job, and it's non-for-profit. You talked about money. They're non-profit. So how does that work?
You know, I don't know, man. And come on now, we already know with the non-profit organizations, there's ways to get around things, and you know, there's a whole other tax deduction situation going into play, blah 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 blah. I don't know, man. Listen, bottom line is this: when it comes to Bill Haney being on here talking to Brian Norman about you better sign up today or this fight's off, my man can sign up tomorrow and he won't get tested until next month. My man can sign up tomorrow and he won't get tested for the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. You just don't know when they're coming. For him to demand for Brian Norman to sign up today, right here on the spot, the kid ain't getting tested today. He will get tested tomorrow. Let's keep it real. He's not going to get tested tomorrow. He's definitely not going to get tested the next day. If he got tested in the next 24 to 48 hours, maybe even 72 hours of signing up with VADA, I'm going to say, yo, Bill, call somebody and make sure that they got over to his house. I had VADA test me so many times before I fought Danny Garcia that my dad started to question whether or not Danny's team had solicited something for me to be tested as much as I was. I was tested like twice a week, almost the entire way for my fight with Danny Garcia. And then there were other camps where I was tested once or twice the entire camp. You never know, So for him to make those kind of demands and stuff like that, I'm on record for saying this fight happens.
Not happens. You're on record for saying it won't happen.
Oh, I know. You ain't watching the podcast yesterday. The fight is going to happen.
Okay.
And I just think that the fight's going to happen. I think that they spoke a little too fast, and they didn't expect this thing to turn around the way that it did. And when I say they, I mean the Haney camp, specifically Bill, because we know he's the one that does all the talking. They're not afraid of Brian Norman, all right? So when I said this fight wasn't going to happen, I wasn't trying to say it was because they were afraid. I just think that a lot of times in boxing, this is what's put in front of you, and then something else happens. And I think that they were trying to put something else in front of you, and then this is what ended up happening. So hopefully you get a little endorsement deal from Pete on that right there. But I think that's what ended up happening. I think that they was trying to smoke and mirrors thing, and it didn't work out. But I think we hear Brian Norman and I, we talked offline. He said, man, how are they going to get out of this? And I told him what I thought. I think the fight happens. But if it doesn't happen, don't be surprised. I just think that this is not the fight that they wanted, even though this was the fight that they were saying they wanted.
Now I have said that. I said that before Sean Porter did. I think by the actions that were taken that they were trying to get out of the fight as well. And you know what? This is my opinion. It's how I feel. If people don't like it, and if you don't want to rock with me because I said that, it is what it is. But again, when you go public and you throw out an ultimatum, a 24-hour turnaround, what else do people think? Just like people jump to an assumption that by Brian say, nah, I don't want to take it right now, I want to wait. Then all of a sudden he was dirty. Well, by y'all coming out and doing that publicly, my assumption was, well, damn, they must not really want this fight. Because the way y'all been treating this man, if he does say no, then maybe that's the easy way out for y'all. And that is how I felt. I do think the fight's going to happen now. But again, 4 months is a very long time. I'm back out. Let this ride.
Did you see Bill Haney's latest response claiming that you're the one that introduced them to Victor Conte in California during one of their many sparring sessions with you?
You're welcome. You're welcome. In this day and age, athletes need supplements, okay? There's a difference between supplements and PEDs, okay? Supplements, vitamins, things to help you with your performance, things that are going to help you re-nourish your nutrients and things like that, especially for a sport where we don't get to eat as much and we don't get to drink the right things and all those sorts of things. Snack is what helps you basically connect the dots. Everything that you've lost in training and sweating and all those kinds of things, they have supplements to help you replenish, re-nourish, so on and so forth. So you're welcome, Haney team, for being introduced to a company that can help you with everything that you have to do and put out in a training camp.
Why do you think that Haney is the one that is, I guess, has so much suspicion around him? I mean, power punching, 100% knockout ratio, Virgil Ortiz is with Snack. We don't hear anything. Mario Barrios just fought with a Snack patch and has been a Snack athlete for at least 12 years. We don't hear anything. Why do you think there is, I don't know, a dark cloud lingering over the connection between Haney and Conti and Vada? In your opinion, right?
My guess, and I mean, come on now, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm so ignorant to this stuff. I'm ignorant. Didn't know Willie Nelson tested positive. Didn't know Luis. I think I knew that Luis Ortiz had tested positive at one point. But you know, it was a number of those names. The majority of those names. I had no clue that those guys had ever tested positive for anything. I'm ignorant to this stuff. I mind my own business. I stay to myself. But when you're Bill Haney putting everything in everybody else's face, you're not Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz ain't putting snack products and Vada this and all those other kinds of stuff in everybody's face. Nor are those other fighters. But Bill is. He's talking about Vada. He's talking about Snack and all those other things. And people now trying to connect the dots because listen, we know that Snack is involved with Vada. We know that Victor Conti has done this and done that. We know that you're involved with. You know, it's a big circle, and Bill is just in the middle of it. You know, this kind of attention that he's bringing to himself and the team and Devin, it's good for you, but at the same time, it can be bad for you. And I think that Bill, respectfully, I know how Bill is. I think respectfully, I think he's now starting to tread a slippery slope.
I hope y'all can hear this. I do. I hope y'all can hear this because, yeah, he's Sean saying that it's other people that have felt that way too. I mean, me and Tay just said that. It's strange when you consider the fact that we continue to say, well, no, Victor don't have no tie. He don't have no tie to Vada aside from the initial setup, right? But he clearly is the spokesman every time. He's always talking about fighters, and he's always talking about the things that are going on within Vada. Why is he the spokesperson? Why does Vada not have a spokesperson that they work with? And I don't care about Devin and Bill being connected, and that's his godfather. So be it. But you cannot be mad at people for asking questions either. I'm not no mindless drone. I'm not a zombie. You ain't just going to tell me something. I don't either go look for the information myself or just have my own original thought. That being said, we just heard this man say he supports Victor, but he still questions the ties. I'm not mad at him for that. Again, do I care about him though? No.
My last question, I see Tone is on, and I know you pressed for time. Devin sparred with you so early. He sparred with you so early in his career. I mean, you were a grown man. He had to be, I mean, probably all ages, right? Like 14, two in adult. You've been sparring him since he was a 14-year-older. So it's just like, to me, I'm confused. I'm like, damn, what is it that Sean sees that has him believing that Devin, who's proved to him years ago he's like that, isn't like that for this particular fight?
I never said that. I never said that.
So you let off by it. I mean, you're on the internet. Up until today, you're known as the guy that's saying the fight won't happen.
But when I offered the explanation as to why I feel it won't happen, and I especially just said to you that they're not afraid, I said this is smoke and mirrors. This is what happens in boxing. Everybody does this. The difference between everybody else and Bill is Bill puts all this stuff in your face. Everybody else gets 3 and 4 fighters. There's a list and who we gonna go after and all this other kind of stuff. Bill's just putting everything in your face. They're more than capable of winning this fight. Y'all didn't see the podcast episode that I did on Friday. They're more than capable of winning this fight. Based on their last performance, no. Based on the performance against Ryan Garcia, no. But based on every performance before that, based on the experience that I know this kid to have, based on the skills that I know this kid to have, he's very capable of winning this fight. But when you go off of the last 2 performances, it's a long way from the lip to the cup when you get in the ring with Brian Norman. And I also said this Friday, the only thing y'all know about Brian Norman is his last like 3 fights. I know you, Ness, I know you know a whole lot more about it. But the audience, the boxing audience, the most they know about this kid is his last 3 or 4 fights. They don't know a whole lot about him, but they know that he can thump. They know he can thump for real. And when you get in the ring with Devin Haney right now, we know that he can't take a punch because the way he went down against Ryan Garcia a couple of times and the way that he was moving against Hope.
Now look, let's be clear. I don't endorse all that shit he's saying. I'm trying to prove that I don't know. Fuck it. To be honest, Sean Porter is double talking. But he is an individual, and if this is how he feels, so be it. I'm not endorsing this shit that he's saying. I'm just playing the interview.
Jose Ramirez, everybody's saying, oh man, he dead meat. He dead meat. He's not dead meat. I just simply think this is not the fight that they actually want. And that's why I feel that at some point they might figure out a way to get out of this. Doesn't mean any fight they can't win. Definitely don't mean I don't believe Devin is who he is. I know who Devin is. Devin is the real deal, even though he didn't look like it in the last one. Even though he didn't look like it in parts of his fight with Ryan Garcia. I know the kid's the real deal, but he got to get it together up here. Simple as that.
So there you have it, and there you go. That is his stance. So does he sound conflicted in his stance? To me, he does. I mean, you say you cool with Victor Conti, but at the same time, he has questions. You think Devin is that dude and that he can, and to be honest, I have said that. Anybody could win this damn fight. I just know what side that I choose because of what I see. But for him to, I feel like he's a flip flopper. Again, I don't care about no damn Sean Porter, but I did want you guys to hear that guys came out real crazy. I wanted you guys to hear what his stance was, be it crazy or not. It is what it is, right? This is Bill. I just want to get this shit over with here.
And address this.
Damn,
I want to be thinking about this.
Bill, we need to know. Would you be okay? Would you be okay to Brian Norman Jr. doing additional testing with a neutral organization, similar to how Ryan Garcia did? Because Ryan had issues with VADA. He also had allegations with the New York State Athletic Commission where he didn't trust them. So during his fight with Roley, which was also VADA, he did a secondary testing with the California State Athletic Commission. Brian Norman obviously expressed concerns with VADA. And would you be open? Because he kept saying that in Sean's interview. Is there another agency we could use? Is there another agency we could use? So, would you verbally agree today to him using whoever else he wants in conjunction with VADA?
I have the more testing agencies, the better. You know what I mean? Let's test here. Let's bring in on some more testing. I don't even know all the names, but I'm sure that.
So he don't have no problem. Why the fuck does everybody else have a problem with Brian Norman Jr.? And I ain't saying everybody. It's just certain things that I've heard. Why does anybody care if this man wants some extra testing on the side? Because he don't trust VADA. That's that man. Y'all need to get over yourself. Bill don't got a fucking problem with it. And Bill likely will not be paying for the extra testing. That will probably be on the Normans and their camp. But he also just said he don't know all the other entities either. So for the individuals out here who have a problem with Brian not knowing, you don't even know the other agencies. You don't. No, he don't. So Tay is a fighter. He just got on here. He said, no, he don't. He's privy to some now. Like sometimes it just takes shit to happen. But let me go.
Devin is with it. If he's already with 365 days testing, I mean, shit, if you want to do 30-day, every day testing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, tomatoes. Let's get tested.
Okay, and what were your thoughts about him saying that, he had concerns because of Victor Conti and his relationship with VADA? I can't find nothing that says Victor has ever worked for VADA, been advised or advised VADA, nothing like that, but people believe that they are together. So what's your thoughts on Norman's concerns with VADA because of the connection to Victor Conti?
Well, only thing that I can say to Brian Norman is you need not be concerned for Victor Conti and VADA. You have, the Snipe brand. You have Bam Rodriguez. You have Shakur. You have Terrence Crawford. You have, the list goes on and on and on. I think, shout out to Champ Side. He says Papoose is on that snack too. So.
Okay, so that's the end of it. I don't care about Papoose being on no snack. But look. So that my whole point in this is, and I've said this, I've reiterated this several times. I said this a month ago. People need to really they need to fall back a little bit from the business side of this. I don't care about the business side, but I just see what's happening amongst us. I see the division amongst us because people are concerning themselves with things that do not concern us. I did not want the chasm that has formed to be formed within our community. We know that there's some damn demons running around us that really ain't kind of near and in proximity to us. And they be starting shit. They be on Twitter. They be on YouTube. The trolls. Y'all call them trolls. I call them demons and devils. We know that they exist. We know that they don't like Devin. We know some people don't like Brian Norman Jr. It is what it is. But it's us that rock with each other. Like, people need to cool their heels. People need to really just fall away from that. Uplift both of these fighters. Support it. If they fall out, they fall out. That really is no skin off our teeth. Like, that has nothing to do really with us. Are we gonna talk about it? Absolutely, we're gonna talk about it. But don't get your feelings in it. Don't get your feelings in what one side of a story and you don't know the other side. Please do not cast aspersions on individuals. And I don't care. I'm gonna stick to what the hell I said about this pro-black. Well, Brian Norman Jr. is black too, and he's being victimized in my eyes with some of the shit that's led up to this, and what led up to him initially saying no. He has feelings. He's a grown ass man who felt like he was being punked. So yeah, you're gonna be obstinate. You're gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna do what you say. So why are y'all mad at him? That does not mean that he's against clean fighting. It does not mean that he's dirty. That is my PSA of the day. And the word of the day still is tact. TACT. Be tactful. Be mindful about how you talk to people, how you approach situations and talk about situations, how you deal in your relationships day to day. Don't just be running amok and running roughshod over people. That is all that I really wanted to get. What I really want to get, I see that, and I'm coming to it, Eric Jordan. He's flippity flopping, man. He's a flippity flopper. For sure. Fish out of dang. Sean Shaki, yeah. I agree. Who knows what to himself? He doesn't know anybody else knows about boxing outside of himself in his circle. That is correct. But again, I wanted y'all to hear what he's saying, because it just goes to my point that he don't know. He don't know everything. And even though he's not a current fighter, it still serves as an example that these people ain't as connected and as with the information as we think they are. We think we are because this is what we sit around and talk about all day. But we aren't either. We don't know all these damn names of facilities. We're learning this stuff as we go, right? Eric, I ain't got no soundbite or thing for you. I'd play it if I did. Hello, Aunt McQueen. Hello. The more testing agencies, the better, and that's been the Haney position in PED testing. It's been boxing fanatics going for one side or the other, saying otherwise. I can agree to that. And again, I made a disclaimer, and I'll say again, I absolutely, no questions asked, and for clean boxing, period. If they would, whether it's VADA or whatever agency they want to use, everybody should be testing. These fighters should be testing. If the commission is only doing testing and it's only urine, but it don't pick up on some of these things, well, then maybe y'all need to get in league with VADA or WADA, or USADA's the amateur, whatever. Look, people do absolutely need to be clean, but it has to be a standard that's set across the freaking board. I'm all for that. I'm not mad at the Haneys for that. Okay. Please fall back from. Thank you. You know how this, and y'all all know how disturbing that was. That was sickening. That was toxic as fuck. And I don't think that this will get that bad because it was drawn out for such a long period of time. But this is goddamn intense. It was getting to that point. But again, now we know Brian has agreed. We don't give a fuck about Sean Porter and what the fuck he thinks, man. We don't care. He gonna do what he's gonna do. Somebody will get information to Brian Norman Jr. so that he is aware and privy that yes, he has the right to sign up to another agency. They'll give him that information. They'll fill him in on the relationship with Victor Conte and Snack. But here's the thing. He's an individual. He is his own person. So if he still has his own feelings about that, y'all cannot knock that man. It does not make him a coon. Because he's not aware of the whole Brian situation, like a Ryan situation. All these fighters did not, they might know that he said racist stuff. Some might not know. I don't think that's the case with this young man. And I think people just need to, again, fall back until you have all the information. Yes, and welcome in. It's good to see you. I'm about to close this out here, but just trying to catch up with some of the things you guys say. Is we don't know what's going on. Absolutely. Facts. People labeling other people as a hater because, yeah, it is. We all are entitled to our opinions. And I told you guys, my platform, I'm here for it. I'm here for however y'all feel. I will let you know, just like you let me know when you don't agree with me. I don't agree with you. But guess what? I don't get mad at you. I don't hate you. I don't love y'all any less than I already love y'all. Like, we rocking. We rocking in this damn thing called boxing as supporters of this sport. If we love it, then we can have a conversation about it. We can talk about it. And we don't have to agree. And this flows into life. Just because you don't agree with somebody, and y'all know where I stand as far as being pro-black. So the people I call my brothers and sisters, y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. Just because I don't agree with y'all, it don't mean that I don't fuck with y'all. Period. Never. I'm not that type of person. I'm a real and authentic and genuine person. I don't play games. I don't like to mince my fucking words. Sometimes I'm too nice. And if for all of you that don't know, nice used to mean stupid historically. So maybe I'm dumb because I try to be mindful of people's feelings and stuff like that, right? I'm considerate. I wish everybody would be to each other. It's just a freaking sport. We're not in it. We just watch it. We just give money up for this shit. The father and the son should be embraced after the fight. I agree. But with that said, I really would like, and I've said this earlier, I like the fathers to fall back. Devin has enough character, and we were finding out Junior absolutely has enough character and wit. They could sell this fight on their own. They don't need Bill. They don't need Senior. They really don't. But I understand that they're promoting the fight. But the Sons can do that on their own, and it would be so much better. And as supporters of this sport, it would be so much better if we push it. If we push more eyes to see it, if we push more people to be like, hey, yo, relax. You don't know what you're talking about. It's cool, just relax. But no, people fall into narratives, and I get it. I've said it before. Y'all love drama. Y'all love sensationalism. I hate that shit. Bro didn't mention about Ryan being dirty fighting against Devin. You mean Sean Porter? But why do they have to, Eric? We already know about that. This ain't even about Ryan. We already know. And we know that it was fucked up. We know the whole blowback of everything that happened. I don't know. Me personally, I still don't like Ryan. Don't ever get it twisted. For most of y'all that have gotten a feel for me, I don't like T.O. I don't like Ryan. I do rock with our fighters. I support our people. I'll have love for all of them. Even old Tink Tink, even though I don't like him, I still recognize him as a black man. And y'all don't ever hear me say much on my channel because I actually have respect for the fighters and what they do. Outside of the boxing shit, I don't talk about them because I don't care. If I don't like them, I just don't like them, and I'll let that be known. But I don't need to get up here and tear nobody down. That's not the type of platform this is. Ryan, I could tear down because he's trash, but I'm not rehashing that shit. We moving forward. I don't know why. I have no idea why Sean Porter didn't speak to that, and I don't know. I don't know. Nick J, I'm just still happy the fight is on. Okay, all the other stuff is not my concern. Thank you, madam, and welcome to you, madam. I don't know how long you've been here because look. Nick is like, she be lurking. She be lurking like me. I would just be listening sometimes. It's okay to be a lurker. Just don't be a creep. I tell myself that all the time. Father and security guards fall back. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. I hope I didn't offend anybody. Except for the people that need to be offended. And I really didn't say nothing about them. That would be your Ryans. That would be your Teals, whatever. I don't care. And that would also be you demons out there that like to keep up bullshit. Fuck you. I don't care. If you don't like what I said today, feel free to unsubscribe. I'm not here for clicks and views. I'm not here to be liked. I'm just here because I love this sport. I have a voice and a mind of my own that I feel is original. And I want to share with y'all. I want to also receive information from y'all. I want to have conversations about what I love, right? That's it. That's all, and that's it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to respect it. I don't respect motherfuckers running around here starting shit and kicking up dust and pushing narratives. I absolutely don't. And if you don't want to rock with me for that, it's okay. Please unsubscribe, and we will both go about our merry little way, okay? But with that said, please don't be a fake fanatic. And please knock off the fucking fake ass outrage. Really. Settle down. Be informed. If you're not, stop judging people. Stop pointing fingers and casting aspersions on people. If you're going to be pro-black and you're going to be for our community, then be informed. Don't just sit there and be accusing people of shit that you have no idea about. Be mindful and remember, we don't know everything. And this, again, I'm rocking. Do I love Devin? I done stomped down in the streets for this man. I done left channels behind some Devin Haney. But I will leave some channels behind this man too. Okay? Just for the record. I'm just letting it be known. Y'all, I love you very much. I tell you this all the time, and I absolutely mean it. I pray that you all are blessed this week, this month, this year. Always be blessed. You, your family, your homes. Shout out to y'all. And please, in the mean and in between time, relax. Like my video. Please share my video. And please subscribe if you have not. I love you guys. Shalom.